Yes. Can you please open Antya 1486? This is yes. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya 1486. Yes. Yeah, 1486. That's a Govardhan verse from the Bhagavatam. If you can find. Hare Krishna. Shri Govardhan Puja ki jai. Kartik Maas ki jai. Happy New Year. It's the first day, Pratipat, of one of the new years in India. Prabhupada says that in Krishna consciousness, every day is a new year. Yeah. But that's in Krishna consciousness. In general, in India, we have about 20 new years, because usually we like New Year, so why not?
I mean, many states have different New Years.
Yes, plus local ones, yes. Yes, they like celebrating. I think this was an old hippie slogan, we celebrate life or something. We something. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Upijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jai Upijana Vallabha Girivarada Yasodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Dava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Vishnupat Paramahamsa Parivraj Kacharya Stutra Sutta Sri Srimad Tridani Goswami Havai Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Ljubljana Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Srimad Bhagavatam Grantaraj Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Srila Prabhupada. Krishna. This is a very famous verse from the 10th canto. It's quoted about 70 times in our books, in the commentaries, in lectures, in other famous books like Brihad Bhagavatamrita. You can see Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's quoted twice. Here and also Madhya 1838. This is how the gopis, or in fact it's mentioned specifically Shrimati Radharani, is praying to Giri Govardhan. So it's a good verse to know, to chant. It's from the Venu Gita, chapter 21 of Canto 10. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Krishna. Let us chant. Hantaya Madhirabala Haridasa Varyo. Hantaya Madhirabala Haridasa Varyo. Yad Rama Krishna Charanas Parasha Pramoda. Yad Rama Krishna Charanas Parasha Pramoda. Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayoryat. Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayoryat. Pani Yasuya Vasakandara Kandamulai. Pani Yasuya Vasakandara Kandamulai. Hantaya Madhirabala Haridasa Varyo. Yad Rama Krishna Charanas Parasha Pramoda. Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayoryat. Pani Yasuya Vasakandara Kandamulai. Hantayam Adri Abala Haridasa Varyo. Rama Krishna Charana Sparasha Pramoda Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayoryat Pani Yasuya Vasakandara Kandamulai Antaya Madir Amala Harida Savaryo Yad Rama Krishna Charana Sparasha Pramoda Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayoryat Pani Yasuya Vasakandara Kandamulai. Ladies? Antaya Madir Avala Harida Savaryo Yad Rama Krishna Charanas Parasha Pramoda Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayoryat Pani Yasuya Vasakandara Kandamulai. Word for word. Hantam. Oh. And in the modern language it's wow. Or just a few days ago in Germany a new word of the year was voted among three candidates. One of the three candidates was wild, W-Y-L-D, which is a version of wow. So I don't know where exactly it's from, but maybe, I don't know. So hanta means like wow. I am this. And it said that they point. This, they point with their hand. Adri, hill. Abala, oh friends. Abala means weak, powerless. And the acharyas are commenting that it can mean that, oh, we are not as loving and powerful in our devotion as this hill. Haridasavarya, the best among the servants of the Lord. Yat, because Rama Krishna Charana, of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and Balaram. Sparasha, by the touch. Pramoda, jubilant. Manam, respects. Tanoti, offers. Saha, with. Goganayo, cows, calves, and covered boys. Tayo, to them. Sri Krishna and Balaram. Yat, because. Paniya, drinking water. Suyavasam, very soft grass. Kandara, caves. Kandamulai, and by roots. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Lord Chaitanya said, so this is when he saw a dune, a sand hill near Jagannath Puri, and he thought this is Govardhan. So in ecstasy he ran to this hill. But the exact same verse he says in Vrindavan on seeing the Govardhan hill. He's quoting. Lord Chaitanya said, of all the devotees, this Govardhan hill is the best. Oh, my friends, Gopi friends, says Srimati Radharani, this hill supplies Krishna and Balaram as well as their calves, cows, and covered friends with all kinds of necessities. Water for drinking, very soft grass, caves, fruits, flowers, and vegetables. In this way, the hill offers respect to the Lord, being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram, Govardhan hill appears very jubilant. Purport. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.21.18, which is Venu Gita. It was spoken by the gopis when Lord Krishna and Balaram entered the forest in the autumn. The gopis spoke among themselves and glorified Krishna and Balaram for their pastimes. Again and again, my respectful obeisances to all the honeybees drinking the nectar from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. Even a dog taking shelter of such devotees will get a share of that honey. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The blessings are being extended from Krishna, and he is waiting for the living entities to accept his mercy more and more. So Govardhan is coming. Govardhan Puja is coming every year, and this is a famous pastime. In Ananda Vrindavan Champu, Kavi Karnapur says that if you hear or read or think about this pastime of Govardhan, it removes all calamities. So whatever calamities there could be, it mitigates, just like Govardhan also mitigated the calamities for the Brijbasis. It removes all the calamities and gives all the infinite blessings. There is a famous Brijbasi pranam to Govardhan. Namaste Girirajaya Shri Govardhana Namine Ashesha Kleshanashaya Paramananda Dayine. My respectful obeisances to the hill named Govardhan, who removes infinite Ashesha Klesha, infinite troubles, and gives infinite bliss. So that's a simple and nice verse, which is used in Vrindavan for offering obeisances to Shri Govardhan. And you can see that Shri Govardhan is respected quite a lot. In you can see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, 2 times this verse is quoted. Govardhan is quoted again and again. And this was one of the conditions for Srimati Radharani to come. If you may remember, Srimati Radharani refused to come to the earth until, and she said, why doesn't she want to come? Because she will miss the Yamuna, Vrindavan, and Govardhan. If you remember, yes? So then Krishna says, done. We will send them first. So therefore our Yamuna, Govardhan, and Vrindavan are not ordinary objects. So Govardhan, you can see, is dear to Srimati Radharani. This verse is said to be spoken by Srimati Radharani in the 10th canto of Venu Gita, 10.21. And Govardhan in general is considered to be the deity for all the Brijbasis and for the gopis in particular. Ishtadev, worshipable deity for the Brijbasis. Also Krishna seems to like Govardhan a lot, and sometimes some special explanations are given, like why did Krishna ignore Brahma for a relatively milder offense, did not even give a look to acknowledge Lord Brahma's prayers, but Indra, who had been trying to kill all the Brijbasis, all the cows, Krishna forgave. So you have heard this question? This how is this that Brahma, for a heavy offense, was ignored, even though he was asking so nicely, such nice prayers, and Indra was forgiven? So the classic explanation is that, you have heard? Yes, no? The classic explanation is that Krishna liked the Govardhan Lila, because for 7 days all the rasas, all the Brijbasis, all the participants were having exchanges all together at the same time. It's like a supreme harmonizing Lila for the whole Vrindavan. Because otherwise, when at every time somebody is separated from Krishna. In the daytime, like morning, afternoon, the gopis are separated. And the parents. Yes? In the night, the cowherd boys are separated, and the cows. So at any specific time, somebody is separated from Krishna, cannot participate in Leelas with Krishna. But during the Govardhan Leela, they are all drinking the nectar of Krishna's face for 7 days and nights. Non-stop drinking the nectar of nectar exchanges with Krishna. In looking at Krishna, in taking shelter of Krishna, and just today I somehow noticed, I probably heard this before, I was listening again to Ananda Vrindavan Champu. Have you read Ananda Vrindavan Champu? Anybody? It's a very beautiful book, very sweet book, but it's very complicated. It's very complicated poetry, actually. So very difficult to translate smoothly. So therefore, it's not so easy to appreciate this book. There is an audio book by Hare Krišna Maharaj, Srila Hare Krišna Maharaj. Very, very tastefully, performed, narrated with in such a way that it all is very sweet. So my friend also loves, this is his favorite book, Ananda Vrindavan Champu. So I was listening to today in preparation again, and I've heard something that I'm still researching. It says that to pacify the Brijbasis, that they do not worry that maybe he's tired or he's hungry or something. He is playing the flute, Murali. Not any flute, but the long flute. Murali is the longest flute. This is the gopi flute, the flute for calling the gopis. Which to me, I don't know, how do you play? Because in his left hand, he's holding the Govardhan. So can...
He has one pinky up there, he has all these 4 other fingers.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Maharaj. That makes sense. So he pacifies them by the sweet, deep warbling of. This is probably the deepest sound of all the flutes. There's shorter venu for the cows, and always there, and mid-size vamshi for the boys, and long murali for the gopis, to call the gopis. So he's playing murali, and then Mother Yashoda, after some time, after several days, she says, Krishna, the sweet tunes of this murali flute will not fill your stomach. Let go of this flute and take this little sweet rice, this tambula, this, and she is feeding Krishna with different snacks when he is holding. Yes, you need a little more strength. She participates very actively in this lila. So every rasa has amazing exchanges with Krishna. Every Brijbasi has very sweet exchanges with Krishna. So that's being mentioned as the reason why Krishna liked this lila, and so he is lenient to forgive Indra. But it all begins a little before. So we have as many as 4 chapters in the Bhagavatam dedicated just to this lila. As many as 4 chapters, which is quite a lot, from 24 to 27. not many Leelas have so many chapters dedicated to something. So this is the Govardhan. Of course, it goes through. So today is still the easy, happy, and good day, actually, because they worship and feast. Yes, they are worshiping and feasting, and Indra's attack is coming after 7 days. I mean, sorry, after. It lasts for 7 days, but it comes after today's worship of the Govardhan. So it's also quite amazing that Krishna, as a little boy, is able, just like you can imagine, what's the name of Lalit Govinda Prabhu? What's the name of Sarvabhauma's son? Jagannath, yeah? Yeah, like you can imagine, this small Jagannath. How old is he? You know? How much? 7. He's 7. Oh, perfect. So just imagine, this little Jagannath comes and says, what festival do we have that is, I don't know, what festival that's not like the most, I mean, it's a big festival, but okay, let's say Govardhan Puja. He comes and he starts convincing Ananta Prabhu. He said, why do you have this Govardhan Puja? Why should we, or to Maharaj or to you? And he says, why do you have this Govardhan Puja? And he starts giving arguments. And he convinces us. Hare Krishna. Yes. So that would be quite an accomplishment. It means the person is really eloquent and sweet, and I mean, it's incredible. Because this is an important festival. First, also interesting, he's employing a super advanced technique. He does not immediately say, hey, worship, do this or do that. He's asking. And he's asking why? What's your reason for worshiping Indra? And it's a common tradition. I think still you have all around the world. In Europe you have this maypole, you have several, like a long stick with flags and something, and there's some dance, and it's a sort of a remnant of that Indra worship. In the villages, they still have this. It has some maypole in English, maypole, and here I forgot how it's called. Some mice, mai, yeah, mai, just mai, yes, just mai. Yeah. Mai. Huh? Ah, mlai. Aha. Okay. Yeah. So that's sort of an echo of that what was going on 5,000 years ago. It was like you can see it was so big that till today it's going on, one form or another in the villages. So Indra and Nanda Maharaj explains that, look, Indra is sending us the rain. We depend on how much rain, when the rain is coming, so we have to reciprocate. We have to offer yagya and worship to Indra. So he's giving very good reasons, even based on the Gita chapter 3, Yagya Chakra. Yes, thank you. Yagya Chakra, that you give to the demigods and then they give it to you. So it's civilized life. Civilized life. And Krishna says, gives some, I mean, to our mind, it's rather strange arguments. He says, huh? Atheistic, basically, yes. Karma Mimamsa, that look, if you work, you will get fruits anyway. Why do you don't need some God's mercy or something? If you do your duty, you just do your duty. Why do you have to? You do not depend on Indra. You depend on nature. So some like the early green movement or something, ecological movement of similar arguments. You know that you have to respect nature, and it's been puzzling. It was puzzling me for a long time, until I finally found some commentary. How can Krishna, even for a joke, okay, but still, you know, why, even as a 7-year-old boy, why preach atheism? You know, why would you risk, even as a joke, giving such arguments? I mean, I'm sure there are more explanations than I know, but one explanation I found is that Krishna never criticized bhakti. What he criticizes in those arguments is motivated religion. I give you, you give me. You know, like egoistic, that worship for profit, let's say. Yes. He's criticizing this worship for profit. So that's what he never criticizes pure worship. Only this type of a motivated, egoistic, selfish, fruitive worship. That is the only thing he's criticizing. So in that sense, okay, that's pure loving worship. He's never casting any shadow upon. Anyway, so amazingly enough, he's been able to convince the whole village, Nanda Maharaj and the whole village. And then today is the amazing worship. They cook mountains and mountains of rice, annakuta. Annakuta means mountain of rice. Rice, different types of rice, with sweet rice, with chapatis, and you can actually see in the temple, probably right now, of our ISKCON temple, you have a mountain of good things, not just rice. Halwa, Jai Shri Panchatattva Ki Jai. There are different discussions, as usual. Should you not? In some temples, basically, you have a mountain of cow dung, Hare Krishna, formed as a hill. And because why should you eat the holy Govardhan? Because otherwise, if you worship prasad, then what? You don't throw it away, you eat. Yes? So, or should you put like a pudding, barfi cows on the Govardhan hill? Because on one hand it's nice, on the other hand, then what? You eat even, like a barfi cow? That's not nice. What is your meditation then? Cookie cow, yes. Hare Krishna. We don't eat cows, even as a cookie. Oh, I don't know. Controversy, as usual. Everything is a controversy. Well, he's above. Sometimes they have such amazing installations for this. In Mayapur, I think they do all kinds of. They have a beautiful installation of a big, like 7 meters. How many? 5 meters long Govardhan, recreated, which is not to eat, to worship. So that was the system, how it's worshipped. Also, when Madhavendra Puri, when Gopal came to Madhavendra Puri in a dream, first in person. In person, Gopal came to him as a boy, because Madhavendra Puri was chanting the whole day, didn't eat, so the little boy brought milk. Yeah? He said, in our village, nobody is fasting. So the local women have noticed that there is some sadhu sitting there, so they sent me with this milk. In our village, people do not go to bed hungry. Hare Krishna. It's one of the Vrindavan features. If you don't want to, and if you do not make a special effort, you will not go to bed hungry. Even I know cases when some devotees made experiments and they avoided looking for prasad, and then late at night, already it was dark, somebody, as they made their way to their room, somebody said, "Psst, come here. Sorry, we have so much Mahaprasadam left. There is a mountain of Mahaprasad. Please, I don't know, somehow we kept this. Can you eat?" So it's been experimentally confirmed by some of my friends, at least. So, yeah, and then he came again in a dream and he said, "I'm hidden in the forest here," and so he was installed in Gopal, Nadji, now he's in Nadwara. And they again had some similar worship of Govardhan. But in Krishna's times, it's very beautiful. So you have the worship of the cows. So in Vrindavan today, the whole temple went to the Goshala, and altogether worshipped the cows, and the cow approvingly looks at the crowd, nods the head, lovingly sends her blessings, maybe sprinkles a few drops of milk sometimes, happens. And you have, today there is no fasting, feast from the morning, also in the Goshala usually. So that's what Krishna recommended. Then he says, you must worship the hill, and you must feed the brahmanas until they cannot help but until their faces must break into huge smiles. That's how much you should feed them, until they cannot not smile. Can't avoid smiling. That's how much you should feed them. And they were all fed, and you can read, we just studied in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, one of the Vyabhichari Bhavas, 33 transitory ecstasies is laziness. Number, what is it? 7 or 8, Alasya. And the Brahmanas are given as the example, because after that they all went around the Govardhan on a parikrama. So this is said that this parikrama is... So Krishna himself was doing this parikrama. It's a famous way to offer respect, parikrama. And all of them went... Some went in carts, bullock carts, that's okay. However, except the Brahmanas said, you go, we just give you the blessings. So they must have been really heavy. I don't know. So that's an example of the laziness, transitory ecstasy in Krishna Lila. But they were not like totally slacking off. They were giving blessings. So they were participating in some way in this parikrama. So devotees also like this form of devotional service, Govardhan parikrama. There is some description that when you just look at the Govardhan, we have Govardhan right here on the altar. When you look at the Govardhan, you get the same benefit as fasting for 10 million Ekadashis and 10 million Janmashtamis. That's another controversy. Normally, yes, it says that yes.
What's 10 million plus 1?
One would think so, yes. That's a secret hope for those who have not been able to be fully strict. Yes. So, very auspicious. And everybody was very happy, and you may know, you may remember how Krishna manifested his form as Govardhan, and he was saying, Aniyor, Aniyor, bring more, bring more. Bring, to bring, and or means more. So bring more, bring more. Which, if you are a cook or in a parental mood, is probably pleasing, right? Bring more, until it's finished. So they offered everything, and he's still saying, Aniyor. So that's what to do. And it says that some people just cooked, and he extended his eating into their houses and kitchens, and ate everything also in their houses and kitchens. Hare Krishna. And still he's saying, Aniyor, Aniyor, bring more, bring more. Until Balaram shows them the secret. He takes a leaf of tulasi, yes, and they offer, and he's satisfied. So Prabhupada says, without tulasi, so even if somebody doesn't have tulasi or tulasi leaves, at least you should invoke her blessings as you offer prasad. Prabhupada says Krishna never takes prasad without, never accepts naivedya without some tulasi. So, big sweet story, And this is just the beginning. Hare Krishna. And then Indra becomes proud and he's attacking, he becomes disturbed and he's attacking the whole Vrindavan. He takes the Samvartaka clouds which inundate the universe and he throws them onto Braj. And then all the Brijbasis cry. There is the verse in the Bhagavatam, Krishna, Krishna, Mahabhaga, Nathantam Gokulam Prabho, Tratumarasi Devanas Kupidat Bhaktavatsala. Oh, Krishna, Krishna, supremely fortunate one, Mahabhaga. Because, they cannot worship him as Narayan, but they've been told that whoever takes shelter of this boy will never be defeated by any trouble. So they address him as supremely fortunate, the one who is carrying so much auspiciousness and blessings. And then they say, you are the enjoyer of this Gokul. So please, Tratumarhasi, it's appropriate, it is very appropriate for you, it seems very appropriate if you protect us from the anger of gods, of Deva, Kupitat Deva, Devatat, Indra's anger, because you are Bhaktavatsala. You are kind to your devotees. And then Krishna is doing something, again, rather unusual. So he's lifting the same Govardhan. So he could have, captured one of the thunderbolts and thrown it back into Indra or something. Yes, or he could have reversed the rain, or he could have so many things he could have done. But he simply is. This whole description how he's lifting the Govardhan, and there is everything arranged on the Govardhan with jewels and everything for the Brijbasis, the cows, the calves. And they all run under the hill. He's inviting all of them under the hill, and for 7 days he is giving them shelter, and they are very happy. They're very happy. Everybody's very happy under the hill. And then it says that the sky was dark for 7 days and nights, and these 7 days and nights were like lost children of the sky, miscarried or lost children of the sky. Until on the 8th day came as a sunny day. So Indra, actually it says that these clouds, they came to Indra and he said, "Sir, we are sorry, we are not doing this anymore. What is this? Look, it doesn't work." They disobeyed the Lord of Rain, Hare Krishna. And then Indra looked and he sort of realized, wow, so something is not right here. Who could have done this? And this must be Bhagavan. This must be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there's a whole story how he got advice from Brahma. And till today you have Surabhi Kund, you have Airavata Kund, and which means where you can still see some imprints of his crown where he offered his obeisances. And Surabhi Kund, recently beautifully renovated. So the local tradition has it that this is a very special kund which even helps counteract something that's impossible to counteract. Some like offenses, it's usually considered, if you offend somebody, that's too bad. But it says that Surabhi, because she helped Indra remove these reactions, so one who takes bath in this kund is supposed to be also really getting a relief from being stuck in some unfortunate situation due to such offenses. You have Govinda Kund on the other side from the Abhishek by Airavata and Indra. And Govinda, because Surabhi said that Indra used to be the king, Indra of the universe, but now no more. He is our king because he's attacked my relatives, the cows, so now you are Govindra. You are the king of the cows. And Krishna was coronated as Govindra. So when we say Govinda, this was the name given by the Surabhi cow at this story, Govinda. That's when Krishna gets a new name, title. Actually, it's a title, Govindra. Krishna, the king of cows, all the cows. So they love Krishna. So, infinite points in this story, infinite blessings in this story, infinite important things that both are there to learn and both are flowing as blessings from Krishna. Krishna is leaving his lila behind, these stories, to give us association, so these stories are like gateways to Krishna. They are like windows and doors to rejoin Krishna. Yeah, so he's not cut off. So they are open. Krishna is calling us through these leelas. And this is 4 chapters you have in the 10th canto. And he's inviting, he lets us see, like in some countries you have very high fences. Yeah? Can't see anything inside. Some countries it's considered to be like even no curtain on the windows. It's different cultures, different level of trust. And some places you have high fence, or sometimes you have some military installation or something, and it says, "Stay away." Where I was walking today, and it was saying, "Vchod prepovedan nepooblaščenim," something, that those who are not, how to say, nepooblaščen, huh? Not authorized, unauthorized persons are banned from entering here. But there was no fence. It was actually, could see everything. Slovenia is quite trusting so far. But Krishna, yes, he has this fence. This fence is not Krishna's fence. It's our, false ego, illusion, attachments, egoism, all these anarthas. But Krishna is cutting these windows we can see, and then we can be attracted and go, rejoin and get Krishna's association by hearing, chanting, appreciating. Prabhupada says in the 1st canto, if you simply appreciate, if you just like Krishna's interactions with his devotees, then you are guaranteed you will go to Krishna. So today we are celebrating this Govardhan Puja. In Krishna book, Prabhupada says that one who does not celebrate Govardhan Puja may be bitten by snakes. Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes. So, auspicious Govardhan, Haridasa Varya, the carrier of the title, the top servant of Hari, Haridas Varya, given this title by Srimati Radharani in 10:21:18 that we read today. So we continue at 5 p.m. with puja, parikrama, abhisheka, katha, and everything else. So may the Supreme Rockstar bless us and protect us. And let's expand the blessings. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Some questions or comments, thoughts, doubts about Govardhan or Govardhan? Yes, what's it? Oh, you, yes. Maharaj, you had some comment? No? Correction.
I wonder,
huh?
It's not now working. Rajbasis, during these 7 days, they are not sleeping, probably.
7 days what?
Yeah, they are not sleeping. No one is sleeping.
No,
so what they were doing? Can you elaborate a little bit?
They were in trance. They were in 7 days and 7 nights non-stop ecstasy of hearing to Krishna's flute, looking at Krishna, drinking Krishna's beauty. Well, it says Madhu Mangala was cutting jokes to inspire Krishna. And yes.
And the coward men were holding up the hill with their sticks.
Yes, cowherd men were working. They were lifting sticks to hold. And
the cowherd boys were telling Krishna, "Why don't you just transfer the hill to your other hand, and we can give you a massage?"
They said, best, give it to Subal and take a little rest. And if you think that it's too heavy for Subal, at least to the other hand, we can massage this hand. And so everybody was engaged according to their mood in some way. Yes. The Brahmanas were chanting mantras to empower, to give blessings, and they were to Krishna and to float the Govardhan hill. So that they were convinced that they have worked so hard. They invested so much of their sadhana that they were convinced that even if Krishna just lowers the hands, it will still float. So everybody was actively participating one way or another, Hare Krishna, in the Leela.
Then you also said that whoever hears or narrates this story.
It's Kavi Karnapura in Ananda Vrindavan Cham.
So there is no more calamities in his life.
It removes.
Removes. So immediately, no more. That means immediately.
Yeah, in 1 second. But whose second? That's another question.
Okay, thank you.
Just imagine what our life would be if we didn't read these stories.
Pardon?
Imagine what our lives would be
Yeah.
like.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Matsai Prabhu or who? Yes, Gabriela.
Thank you for the class. I was wondering, you are telling us these things if you do this and that in this day or that day. And I was curious, for those who are not at that level in devotional service, and it's not dangerous for those persons who are not advanced in devotional service, and does it, I don't know, pull them a little bit back into karma kanda section, or just to try to I don't know, to honor these things for this kind of benefits.
Like which specifically thing?
Like, I don't know, you said if you will do something...
Like what?
I can't remember now. Something with the fasting, you said. If you... Yeah. If you glance at the Govardhan,
you get the result of 10 million Ekadashis, yeah? That's
yes.
That's in the Shastra by Rupa Goswami. But what is the result of Ekadashi? What's the main result of Ekadashi? Bhakti. Yes. Yeah, good. Thank you. That's how our Prabhupada says, what's the result of chanting? More chanting? Yeah, but if you keep chanting, means there is some deepening taste. So, I don't think I've mentioned any material result. All the results are bhakti results. Some material results are mentioned in the Shastra, even in our Supreme Bhakti Shastra. Some material, completely material results are mentioned, but they are for those of us who may have one or two attachments, or half, I don't know, whatever the case may be. It will sort of encourage and fix us in bhakti, which makes it pure bhakti in the sense that we fully trust that Krishna and bhakti is enough for everything. Even if I do have some material attachments, everything is included or encompassed, covered by bhakti. Krishna, has your back. Yeah, what's the expression that his he will not be a loser. He will not be a loser if you serve Krishna, right? If you do have some whatever attachments, and if you have absolutely zero inclinations and desires and attachments, then it will make you happy that, oh, my bhakti is so great that even if somebody has, even that bhakti gives. Even snakes don't bite you in summer. But yeah, okay, yes.
Another controversy.
There are several things to remember. I'm sure you have. Do you have some experience that snakes never touched you, even though they could, or some scorpions or something? No. No?
I've seen snakes.
And then they ran away.
Yeah.
Yes. Some people
They slithered away.
slither away.
Okay. They were dead 5 minutes.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Is it okay? Is it?
Yeah.
There are some, even books which convert everything into like exclusively material blessings. So that's a little bit too much in the opinion of many devotees. But even Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and Srimad Bhagavatam, if you hear about Varaha Leela, it cures your wounds on the battlefield. If you hear about Dhruva Maharaj, he will be a super intelligent Brahmana or super rich Vaishya businessman. Or it gives apparently material blessings on the face of it. And Bhagavatam is the supreme Prema Shastra, Rasika Shastra. Right? So the point is that it has the power. So if I do have some desires, it has the power, and if I don't, it just makes me happy that even these things are provided by exclusive processes of bhakti. Okay? Sridevi Mataji?
Thank you for this wonderful pastime of Govardhan Leela. I was thinking, as you were describing, how those, the rain and the lightning and the thunderbolts and the hail and everything, and the description is that Govardhan Hill was in ecstasy. Even though the rain was pelting and all those things were happening, Govardhan Hill was just experiencing
Goosebumps.
ecstasy. Yeah, because Krishna was holding him up by the little finger. Of course, Govardhan is Krishna himself. So it says that simply by taking shelter of Krishna, anything coming at you will not be able to really shake you, because Krishna is there protecting. So
there is also one more comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
That how could a relatively small Govardhan cover the whole Vrindavan? Nanda Maharaj had 1 million cows. How can 1 million cows fit in? It's only Nanda Maharaj. And there are so many. Materially for today's measurements. So that's a question brought up by one commentator. So then the commentator says that Govardhan exhibited the ecstasy of expanding and becoming much, much bigger, so that the whole Govardhan covered the Brajamandala or Vrindavan, so everybody could take shelter underneath. We also hear that somebody describes that Krishna sent his chakra also to act as a heater and dry excessive moisture from above. And everything was very well designed in this, according to some commentaries.
I was also thinking, as you were speaking just now, about how Govardhan is shrinking by 1 mustard seed every year because of some curse.
Yes.
Is that? I don't remember that pastime. Could you share something about that?
There was a story about one sage who wanted to, he saw that some sages have a cool cave and a hill where they do their sadhana and bhajan, like we have Rozhnik right across the street. Yes, and then you do some seva here, and then you go for it. You can see so many devotees there. And Misha distributes books during his japa chanting. On the, I saw with my own eyes. Some man was with a child in a what do you call this? Stroller. And Misha gave him some books, and so we have a nice mountain with nice nooks and corners and trees. So this sage, that was, what was this sage? Pulastia. I think Pulastia, yes. He thought, oh, I also want a mountain. So he went to Drona and he asked for Govardhan, but Drona knew that Govardhan belongs in Vrindavan, so therefore he said, okay, but don't you put it down on the ground, because as soon as you put it down, it will stay there. And so that's so he put it, somehow I think he had to use the bathroom or something. And so he forgot, and he put it down and couldn't move. Yeah, that was it. So he became angry and he cursed that it will decrease in size I forgot what is I think every year by a mustard seed. I think that's how yeah. Or every day, I forgot. Somebody counted that it even matches. Yeah. Yesterday I heard that the Appalachian Mountains, which they don't impress, we don't usually think of them as big mountains, right? But I heard that they were higher than the Himalayas, like I forgot how many millions of years ago. And they just, go down, wither down, yes. I don't know which curse is there in play, but it does happen sometimes. Hare Krishna. We just read your surname today, Mule, Kandara Kanda Mule. Yes, I was just thinking. Yeah, it's actually that's how they pronounce in India, Mule. This is 10:21:18, the last word. Hare Krishna. Okay. Marcel, yes.
Thank you for inspiring lecture. I would just like to ask, so besides the program you already mentioned, so that will be also in the temple, the program, what are the recommended activities that we can do during Govardhan Puja in order to celebrate the day properly? So what are some recommendations to stick to?
The minimum, just offer obeisances, come. We have a nice program, and if somebody is far, okay, you can have a picture or circumambulate. Usually we circumambulate. Like for example, in Radha Damodar Mandir, we have a big Govardhan Shila with Krishna's footprint, which was given to Rupa Goswami when he became very old, because he was going every day on the parikrama. And today it's 21 kilometers, and they say that the Goswamis were often doing not today's parikrama, but the bigger 40-something kilometers parikrama every day. So that's quite something. Yeah? And he became old, so therefore Krishna gave him this Govardhan Shila, and he said that if you walk around 4 times, some people say 7 times, I don't know, usually they say 4 nowadays. Yeah? If you walk around 4 times, then it counts as the same as doing the full Govardhan Parikrama. So you can take a picture and whatever, do some at least symbolic offering of your respects. Now is Kartik, in the Nectar of Devotion says that anybody who in the month of Kartik goes around the temple 4 times gets the result of visiting all the sacred places in the universe. Hare Krishna. Not easy, not easy. You have to go around the block here. And it's 400 steps. The shortest. Yes. Well, it depends how far you go. Plus, we have neighbors who might be, a little surprised if you have 100 people walking, again and again, non-stop. Group of people going around, caravan. But yeah, it is mentioned. I used to do this in Vrindavan until they put this barrier in front, and then it's almost impossible to go around. Normally, you have to. It's so difficult to go around, unless you do it during the japa time. Or you can read, or at least you can listen. I don't know this. Okay, you can listen to Gopal Champu. You can listen to Gopal Champu or the Bhagavatam or Krishna book at tiny.cc/Poshevnica SP108. You can find, this is Shikshashtaka. He has all Prabhupada's books, either the Bhagavatam, chapters 27, 28, or you find Bhaktivedanta Vedic Library, Damodar, he's reading just verses, or, just verses. Oh, or no, 10th canto, he didn't. Krishna book, okay. Krishna book. Or, I don't know, Bir Krishna Maharaja's, is it, how do we find his ISKCON audio? There is ISKCON audio. It's chapter 15 of Ananda Vrindavan Champu. Oh, his reading is so sweet. I was amazed how, because it's a complicated book. You have to have a lot of taste to make it so, it's the most complicated genre of Sanskrit poetry. Every line has 20 meanings. So it's not easy to translate and to read. So you can read, or you can learn one verse like this, 10:21:18, for the verse by Srimati Radharani to the Govardhan, asking for blessings, including all the rasas, worshipping Govardhan. So learn a verse. It's a famous verse. You can see it's quoted every verse 3 times over in the same chapter, in the same book. Some like Lagu Bhagavatamrita. I mean, like so many times. So famous that they don't even quote the whole verse. They just says Hantayam iti, Hantayam adriti, means like in that verse Hantayam. They don't even quote the whole verse. They just quote the first name, and they say like in that verse Hantayam, the same. It's so big, important verse. So that we can do. We can tell somebody about Govardhan. You can, if nothing else, you can eat a sweet offered to Govardhan. Yes. And it also is powerful. Or you can give somebody a sweet in the name of Govardhan and say, Govardhan ki jai, Govardhan puja ki jai. Srila Prabhupada, bringer of so many blessings, ki jai. The very international society for spreading the nectar blessings, Krishna Bhavanamrita Sangha ki jai. Nidai Gaur Brahmanande, Hare Krishna.